Was it controversial? Yes. Has it divided opinion? Yes. Are people still talking about Slammiversary nearly 24 hours after the fact? Yes. We're going to get into what was a hell of a pay-per-view from TNA Wrestling or PLE, whatever you want to call it. Slammiversary is in the books. It delivered in so many different ways. And again, people are talking about it. So look, let's just get into it. For first, well, first things first, I need to say big congratulations to everybody involved in TNA wrestling, whether you're a wrestler in the ring, production agents, everyone that you don't see behind the scenes. Obviously, Carlos Silver, anyone with Anthem Sports, um, for putting out what was an amazing pay-per-view, biggest selling TNA show in probably over a decade, over 7,500 packed into the arena last night. Fantastic effort from TNA. Bound for glory, though. You've set the bar. You've got to raise it and then some, and you're going to have a job to do that. But big time congratulations to all everyone involved in TNA wrestling for a fantastic show last night. And the fantastic show kicked off with the countdown to Slammiversary, and the Knockouts Tag Team Championship stayed within the Elegance brand, not without a bit of controversy, not without a bit of interference in this. The Elegance brand did indeed reign supreme against the Inspiration, Cassie and Jessica, as they are called. And yes, the Elegance brand did, of course, interfere in this. It wasn't always a fair result, as we always say, but ratified there by Ash, who's got a title shot at the Knockouts champion. More on that in a bit whenever she wants. I believe she could take it this Thursday. But she got the pinfall on Cassie Lee for her team on I believe they used a toy torch or some kind of torch to win this. All of the Elegance brand got involved, Iceman and whatnot got involved. And they did retain. However, backstage, little production issue. But backstage was as the Elegance brand was celebrating this, the Inspiration come back and said, "Hey, we want a six-woman tag match this week on Live Impact, and we're bringing someone. We got friends in high places. Who is this going to be? Like, because it's going to be someone from the WWE. That I can't think of anyone else who we could, unless it's a new signing for TNA. But that's exciting. The match was good. The match was fun. Look, it was just a nice little, a little bit of a way to get that crowd going a little bit before the main show. There was another match we'll get into in a minute. And, the Elegance brand are holding these titles, and like I said, look, are they everybody's cup of tea? No, they're not. But are they constant? Look, when you got the constant camera on you when they're doing it, and I've said this with Ash time and time again, when you get the opportunity, when you're given the opportunities that TNA give you, it's going to improve you as a person and as a wrestler, and they're all around really. And it certainly has with Ash. And look, they're not everyone's cup of tea, but the Elegance brand are still knockouts tag team championships, and TNA still have a championship on their brand. More on that in a minute. But the next match on this on the pre-show was the hometown man is back, and Eric Young had with Norman Armory with him to try and dispose of the hometown man, but it didn't happen. The hometown man reversed the power driver from Eric Young into a pinfall to get the victory done. This is what I would have expected. Like, it was an impromptu style of match. It wasn't booked in advance. There was no package. There was no big entrance. It was a classic heel face match, which I actually enjoyed on this, and it was a little bit comical. The crowd did, they got behind the hometown man, which is exactly what you know you want to do on this occasion, and it worked. And I love it. I think it's great. I'm interested to see though, with regards to Eric Young and the Northern Armory, as to where they go from here. It's a bit of a there's not many factions, so to speak, in TNA. There is in the knockouts, the women's division, we've got a few. As I said before, the Elegance brand is one of them. But in terms of the men's, there isn't really a sort of faction. They're not faction heavy. Like if you go to other companies, there's a lot of factions around, and There isn't in TNA, so it's a bit of an interesting one because normally they get sort of separated off. Eric Young will go and perhaps have a feud with somebody in the Northern Armory, obviously in the tag division, which is very stacked in TNA. Um, may go down that route. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here with Eric Young and the Northern Armory. But chalk another W for the hometown man, Corey Dino. I'm sorry, the hometown man. Picks up a victory on the biggest stage of them all for TNA so far. Final match in the countdown to Slammiversary was a six-person. Now, this was booked on Impact. Now, initially, Steve Macklin was going to have an open challenge for the International Championship. That didn't happen. He was in a rather interesting team put together from TNA here. Steve Macklin, Mance Warner, the crazy bastard, and Jake something. Now they will go in against three people who are not actually under TNA contract: John Bishop, Zilla Fatu, and the real one, Enzo Amore. And I tell you what, you can have. I know he's Marmite and is Enzo or Real One, whatever you want to call him. I still think he's great. I still love him on the mic. I think he's tremendous. Walking gimmick has been a thing that they've been called. But I tell you what, he's great. Zilla Fatu as well, guys. Jeez. I've used the word blue chipper on this program, on these review shows. I've used the word megastar. That man right there is an absolute bona fide star in Zilla Fatu there. It was good to see. I've never seen Josh Bishop before. I thought he was good as well. He had a good outing in this one. And surprisingly, it was Enzo's team. I called him Enzo. He's calling him by a real one. He done the eat defeat onto Jake something for the victory. I was really surprised by that. I was expecting Team TNA to win this. But I tell you what, the team Fourth Rope, as they're called, that was a brand that they're partnered with. I tell you what, though, I mean, if I'm TNA and I'm Carlos Silver, I look at those three guys and I'm thinking maybe they need to cross the line permanently on TNA. I thought they were great. Enzo, he's still real one. He's still Enzo Amore. He's a bona fide G and a certified stud, and you can't teach that. And he done all the shindig, all the shick that he does. He's great. I think he's great. I really, really do. But geez, Zilla, the son of Umaga, my God. We're talking bloodlines in wrestling. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. He's got five kids, apparently, according to Enzo Amore. Jesus, this bloodline just keeps growing. This tree is more like I don't know, it's more like a forest um, with a bloodline. But I tell you what, if anyone's looking on for those three, no, seriously, I would have got them. I loved it. I thought the match was really good. There was contrast of styles, there was similar styles. There was a lovely blend in this that I really, really enjoyed. Macklin, hopefully that open challenge will happen on Thursday on a live Impact on TNA Plus. I'd love to see it because I tell you what, I'd like to see one of these three answer it. I really, really would because it was brilliant. It was I didn't even know they really partnered with Fourth Rope up until 2 weeks ago when the Enzo More promo aired. But I tell you what, I still think they're great. I thought this was really, really fun, really, really good. And again, if I'm TNA, I'm looking at those three and I'm thinking we might need to open up that checkbook again, chaps. But a really good match and well done to Team Fourth Rope, Real One, Enzo Amore, Josh Bishop. I got to call you Josh and not John Bishop, the comedian. And of course, Ilavar too is an absolute star in the making. Right, on to the big stuff. And that's not a disrespect to anybody. You want to start a pay-per-view with a match that it shows steel. Well, if you went and watched my Mustafa Ali interview, first off, thank you, and secondly, you will know that he said he's coming to steal the show. Well, they kicked off this pay-per-view with Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander in a classic. There was a little bit of a mishap in this, just to get this out of the way. There was a bit of a nasty fall from Ali. Now, a lot of people have criticized wrestlers for not catching him, and that we had this before with Leon and whatnot. And look, Mustafa Ali's come out and even said, "Look, I tried to do a different variation of a move, a dive that I was looking to do." Now, he dived, he hit his head on the floor. It looked nasty. It really, really did. But he come out and openly said, "Look, I tried a different variation of a move. It didn't work. Simple. It was nasty." The match, I really enjoyed this. Um, I love the. I wish there hadn't been enough interference at the start because Tasha Steelz was getting in there. She was getting involved. She got removed, and then she come back in there, and it was a really great finish because the finish, Cedric Alexander hit Tasha Steelz with the lumbar check, but as he's landed on the floor, Ali's hit the 450 off the top rope and got the victory. I thought that was fantastic on this. There was back body drops to steel steps in this. This was really, really great. The only thing that let it down for me was just too much outside interference. And I think it just took away from the match a bit more than, sometimes you do this and it should help the match. For me, it took away from it. And that was a disappointment. But other than that, top, top, top way to start the show. I love it. I thought it was great. But yeah, less on the, I've said this a few times too, just less on the interference a little bit. Um, but other than that, loved it. Loved it. Go out your way to watch it. Brilliant match. Hopefully we get a return match on TNA in the future. It needs to. We haven't finished with them yet. Surely there's more matches left. Surely there's more matches left in them than that. But yeah, great victory for Mustafa Ali though. We'll still see. He said everything was all right in order four on the interview that you can see in the playlist below, and it's not wrong at the minute. Not wrong. Right, let's move on. The system, the partial system, were in action alongside Matt Cardona against NXT's Dark State. Dark State have been interfering in the systems business, vice versa, attacking Cardona. Finally, Myers and Cardona together again, or not be it as a tag team, be it as an 8-man tag. This was like it was another fun match actually. I think Dark State is getting a bit of a bad rep right now. They're exciting. I like them. I need to see more of them. I don't really, and to be honest, it's partially my thing. I don't really get time to see NXT. There's so much other wrestling that I watch and review and everything like that. I just don't get that time that I should really get with this partnership. Really, I should be watching NXT more, but I don't, unfortunately. But I do read the results. I do read what's going on NXT, so I know of Dark State, and I think I think this is something interesting. Is it Retribution League looking? Yes. That didn't obviously work. Should have done. They didn't. This one's taking a bit of time to get there with Dark State, but I thought this match was great. I enjoyed it. I like Dark State in this. Was happy though that the victory went to TNA. Matt Cardona hit I think his name was Sugars or Schweigers with the radio silence, followed by a Boston knee party from Eddie Edwards to pick up the pinfall for Team TNA really in this one. And they're 1-0 down if you think of the fourth rope guys getting the victory in the play in the pre-show. I want to see. I just wonder with Dark State whether we're seeing them more on TNA to get that kind of thing that I talk about with AJ Francis and Ash by Elegance, that kind of you're on TV each week, you're getting a chance to evolve that character, you get a chance to improve, you're in matches, you're doing it, you're not just doing segments, there's more stuff. So I'm hoping that if they're on TNA more going forward, it will only be a good thing for Dark State, if I'm being totally honest with you. I feel as if that will work better than if they're just on NXT not doing a lot. They need ring time. That's without doubt, and hopefully we'll see it. But victory for the system and Matt Cardona. And obviously, like I said, TNA is live this coming Thursday on TNA Plus. Get it downloaded, get subscribed. If you don't want the annual package, you can just subscribe for the monthly package and watch all the impacts like this coming Thursday, for example. We move on. Tessa Blanchard, Indy Hartwell, in a really good match, actually. Solid. This was really fun. And again, you have to, regardless of what you think of Tessa Blanchard, and I've said this before, she goes in that ring. To be honest, there isn't really many better than Tessa Blanchard in the ring, and I don't care what anyone says about that. This for Indy Hartwell was Indy's. I think I said this on the review show. This would be Indy's biggest win to set her ready for Bound for Glory, which I think that's where they're going with her. And it was exactly that. She got the victory with this. And as I said, I think it was her biggest win in TNA since her re-signing. She did hit the Hurts donut to score the pinfall victory. That wasn't all, though. At the end of the match, Tessa Blanchard goes absolutely crazy as Indy's being interviewed at ringside. She attacks her. She attacks Gia Miller for trying to break things up. And ultimately, it's led to Santina Marella suspending Tessa Blanchard indefinitely. So we will not see Tessa Blanchard in TNA for a while now, it seems. But I just thought that this match was great. You can see the chemistry was there from previous years where they've worked, But I still think this is the start now for Indy to go towards Bound for Glory October the 12th, against perhaps the Knockouts and NXT champion. We'll get to that in a minute. In fact, we'll get to it right now. It was the next match: Masha Slamovich, JC Jane, NXT and TNA Knockouts Championships on the line. There was chaos at ringside. Lei Ying Lee and everyone, was involved. Fatal Influence got involved. And it got involved on the outside. They was all having fights. They were fighting through the crowd. And here's the interesting thing with this. JC Jane hit Masha Slamovich with the encore to score the victory and is now double champion, NXT champion, TNA Knockouts champion, JC Jane. Now, she would impress a lot of people when she was there previously. And I think this is where it's come from. But right now, as it stands, as we listen to a review right now, TNA has their two main championships are now in NXT, or are now owned by NXT talent. But I tell you what, I loved it. I thought this was great. You know, the chemistry wasn't. I think the only thing that let me know, well, as much as I thought the match was great, the chemistry wasn't quite there between. So there was a couple of awkward little moments here and there between the two. Um, but it worked. It still worked, and it got over the fact that NXT now currently have two TNA titles. Can TNA level the playing field later on in the main event? We'll have to wait and see. But congratulations to JC Jane. X Division. You know where I'm going with this, and you probably already know the results of this. So let's just get straight to it. Leon Slater. I predicted it. Go way back to last year. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it and pin it. I predicted 2025 Leon Slater would win gold in TNA wrestling. And he did. He done it. He beat Moose. And I tell you something, right? This was this match was absolutely fantastic. And it wasn't like Moose was holding this match and pulling it along. This was just as much Leon Slater as it was Moose. I mean, Leon had him up for like a blue thunder. We had him up like this, turned into blue thunder bomb. Moose kicked out of the senton, the fourth 30 senton that he does. Incredible, incredible match. And Moose again is another one that everyone just says, oh, he's just the big guy. BS. Go and watch this match. Go and watch any time Moose has defended that X Division Championship. He is more than just a big guy. He is the guy. But he's not the X Division champion. Leon Slater right now is on top of the world. He's on top of his game. And Moose had the decency to even put the strap around Leon Slater's waist at the end as a show of respect. With big respect to Moose for that. But it wasn't all. Of course it wasn't. How can you get this to make it any better of a situation for Leon Slater? Let's get ready to fly. The old music hits, and out comes the phenomenal AJ Styles. Leon's like a kid in a candy shop. He's running around the ring all excited. When AJ Styles comes out, he gives Leon Slater a big rub in there. There is no question to that. The fans wanted one more match. I want one more match. You had it in the ring right there. Make it happen, TNA. Make it happen, WWE. Bound for Glory, October 12th. Make it Leon Slater one-on-one with the phenomenal AJ Styles for the X Division Championship. Put it, do it, book it. Don't care what you have to do. Just get it done. Everybody wants to see it in TNA, and everyone loved to see AJ Styles in TNA. I certainly did. I thought it was tremendous. Loved it. Brilliant. Fully deserved, Leon. Well done. Bring it yeah, bring it over back to the UK. But we're not done with matches and titles. Ladder match comes next. Just chaos. This was absolute chaos. It was the Hardys, it was the Nemeth brothers, it was First Class and the Rascals in the four-way ladder match for the tag team championships. Do I need to say any more than that? You all know exactly what this is going to go. Tables, ladders, chairs, spots. I don't know if AJ Francis is going to be able to have kids after the fall that he took. He was on top of a ladder. They pushed it. He went, sorry, bollocks first into a ladder. Oh my God. It was, oh, you wince every time you see it. Oh my goodness. For those men, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know how he wasn't winded, how he was even walking after that. But anyway, Jeff Hardy, two swantons, breaks ladders. There was no ladders available. So they just bring one from the sky. Why not? Jeff Hardy climbed that ladder from I suppose it was a production ladder. I don't know what it was. Ladder hanging from the ceiling to get the championships, and the Hardys regain the championship. They were questioning if they still got it. Oh, they never lost it. Don't worry about that. This was wild, crazy, just nuts, absolutely nuts. But now that doesn't stop there. The familiar sound of Team 3D or Bully Ray's music here. Out comes Bully Ray and lays a challenge to the Hardys at Bound for Glory. Matt, Jeff, Team 3D, one last time. Hell yeah. Yeah. Make it happen. Makes it happen. Please, please, please make it happen, TNA. You've got, well, it's gonna happen. I can't wait for that. One more time. Nostalgia. Everything. Fantastic. TNA, maybe tag team champions online. Don't care if they're not. Brilliant. Cannot wait for Bound for Glory, October 12th. But let's get to the main event now. Trick Williams defending the NXT gold against Joe Hendry, against Mike Santana. And you know what? I don't normally swear, but fuck you, Frankie Kazarian. You cost Joe Hendry the opportunity on this match. He hit that standing ovation. The match was won. You pulled the referee out of the way and cost Joe Hendry the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And then Trick Williams was playing that he was injured outside on there. So Santana and Joe Hendry controlled the rest of the match. Santana hits two spin the blocks, has the championship won. The referee counts. Trick Williams, who's not injured, comes in, throws out Mike Santana, and pins Joe Hendry 1-2-3 to retain the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And TNA doesn't have their two main titles right now. Frankie Kazarian is the reason why TNA don't have their championships right now. Disgrace, absolute disgrace, Frankie Kazarian. But nevertheless, I can't wait for Live Impact this week, this coming Thursday. TNA Plus, get it downloaded, get it subscribed. Watch the fallout from what was an incredible Slammiversary. I will be watching. I hope you are too. And until next time, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and cross the line.